Dogecoin is drawing fresh upside calls, and the real test is whether today's facts can carry that weight. A forecast can pull attention quickly, yet the path still depends on measurable adoption, liquidity, or follow-through. Dogecoin Eyes 3 is the search phrase that fits this story because the new Dogecoin bull case is built on chart symmetry and breakout patterns, but the headline target is far beyond anything the market has confirmed yet. That matters for traders chasing upside, but it matters even more for anyone trying to separate an investable setup from a story built mostly on projection. The real problem is that a projected upside number can travel faster than the facts needed to support it. Start with the mechanism. Analysts are leaning on divergences and a possible inverted head-and-shoulders setup, while the bearish alternative still points to a drop if the wrong pattern wins. In plain English, the story is balancing a future target against what is actually live today, because a forecast only matters if the mechanism behind it can be measured. That is why the difference between a chart target and an adoption signal matters. One is a forecast. The other is evidence arriving in real time. That is why a move like this can look exciting on the surface and still carry far more risk once you ask who is actually providing the liquidity, the capital, the legal cover, or the operational support. The context matters too. The first major resistance near 10 cents and notes a bearish scenario could revisit roughly 5 cents before any stronger recovery takes hold. That backdrop is important because speculative markets often borrow credibility from a bigger theme before they have earned it themselves. That is exactly why some targets travel farther on social media than they do in the market itself. For people searching Dogecoin Eyes 3, that bigger backdrop is useful because it explains why this story landed now instead of last month. But context is not the same thing as proof. Here is the split between what is firm and what still needs more evidence. The new Dogecoin bull case is built on chart symmetry and breakout patterns, but the headline target is far beyond anything the market has confirmed yet. A $4 target is a long-range projection, not a confirmed path, and even the near-term direction still depends on whether Doge can close above the neckline traders are watching. That is the line between a narrative that can mature and a narrative that simply burns hot for a few sessions. Viewers can easily mistake a live headline, a chart move, or a product announcement for a complete answer when it may only be the first visible piece. So who feels this first? That matters for traders chasing upside, but it matters even more for anyone trying to separate an investable setup from a story built mostly on projection. In practical terms, the market is now being asked to price not only the headline event, but also the follow-through. Execution risk, adoption risk, liquidity quality, legal clarity, or recovery credibility, depending on how the next few sessions unfold. If the follow-through is weak, the market usually starts to treat the forecast as marketing instead of analysis. That is where a speculative setup either graduates into a real market story or gets exposed as a temporary attention trade. The next proof point is not the loudest claim. It is this: watch the neckline, the 10 cents area, and whether volume supports the move instead of fading into another false start. For this video, the most useful close is a concrete one. Watch the neckline, the 10 cents area, and whether volume supports the move instead of fading into another false start. If that signal appears, the story gets stronger. If it does not, the current read can fade quickly. The next clean read on Dogecoin Eyes 3 is not a louder slogan. It is whether the next measurable step confirms the same pressure, demand, or trust signal that made this headline matter in the first place.